So now what happens is I go to the Eastern Cape. I start at the beginning. I go from school, high school to high school to high school. And I wanted to go to the ones that are remote. Like if a high school was by the main road, I would only go to that school if it's like late and we can't go to the remote areas. We have to go back home. And then we would I would wait for my mother to get paid, and then the following month would start the same thing again. Special thanks to my brother, who was willing to drive my mother's car and take us there. And I know if I was alone, was going alone, I would have never been able to go to the many schools that I went to. Them accompanying me made me brave. All I had to do was get in the car, and then when I get to the gate of the school, navigate, find the schools with GPS. What is this? Google Maps. And then we would get there. I'd get in, ask for what I came for, get out, right? So I don't want to lie. I did not go to a single school and experience problems that would make me maybe like give up. In fact, every time I went to a school and I would talk to a principal or a deputy principal, or sometimes there will be none of those and then the clerk or whatever, people were just helpful and understanding. You know, people have siblings that are not working. They have cousins that are not working. They have cousins that are worried. They're worried about that are in varsity, and they're worried that when they come out of varsity, they were not going to get jobs. They understood. And so it kind of gave me that oomph to keep going. So eventually, now you would know, like if you're from Eastern Cape, like if you're from Bizana, you would know that this place would be Bizana, right? So we had to make a decision after that. Do we go the route of Mount Elif, or do we take the route of Flagstaff? And I said to my mother, no, I want to go to Flagstaff. I want to go to Flagstaff schools first. I want to go the route of Flagstaff, then Lusigi schools. So we went to Flagstaff schools, which some of them are like in Bizana, Flagstaff. It's very difficult to differentiate. So we went to still received the same good reception I received when I went to Bizana schools. This motivated me. I was scared, but this motivated me to say, okay, I'm received very well. There's no need to fear too much. Fear of the unknown is no longer there. And I know there's a post on Facebook that I did where I've experienced bullying from teachers, or a little bit of harassment from teachers for other things. But this particular situation, I was received well, right? Principals, oh my God, principals know how to talk to people. I tell you, they know how to talk to people, because I went to 27 schools and spoke to 24 principals. Only 3 schools that I went to that didn't have the principals were not there when I was there, and I spoke to either the deputy principal. One school I had to speak to the HOD because there was no the deputy principal and the principal had gone to a meeting. Okay, so we go to Flagstaff, we get there, we go to the schools. Oh, Flagstaff is even more remote. Flagstaff has even more remote schools, and we went there. I'm not even gonna bother listing them. I lost my list of the schools that I went to, but one of them is like in Kopozo or something like that. Oh, that was far. Anyway, we get to Flagstaff, the town. We were looking for a school called Eroma, right? We get to Flagstaff, the town, and we're thinking, hey, wait a minute. There's another high school here besides Eroma, right? And this school that I know is called, I knew it as Eroma because it was a Roman Catholic church school, I think. It had like primary and high school, or it was a high school. I was like, let's go there. I want to go there. I don't know why I was so determined to get there. But when we get to the town, we went to another high school that's named after a chief. We went there and I tried to get into the school, and I was told that I have to enter, I have to use an appointment. I have to make an appointment to enter there. And it was like schools were almost like out. I think it was like after 1 or something. And I was like, I cannot make an appointment. I will never know when I'm coming back. So I just left it and I said, no, let's just go look for your room. So at the gate, I turn around and then some young man was passing by and I asked him, like, the school that used to be here, where is it? Because we could see that it wasn't there anymore. And he directed us. Guess what? When we tried to go to that school, we got lost and went to the school that ended up hiring me. This is what happened. We were supposed to turn left. We were supposed to turn right. We passed the right turn, and then we found the left turn, and we said, okay, fine, let's turn. Let's see if there's a high school here. We drive, follow the road, and then right in front of us, the primary school just showed us up. Nice, beautiful, freshly done, new building, primary school. And then I'm like, okay, let's ask the the guy at the gate, like the security guard, yes, at the school. Let's ask him where the high school is, because this primary school, there's a high school that they use. I was like, he's like, it's behind us. I'm like, what? Behind, like, it's here. We're going there. Then we went there. When I got there, I was told that the principal is not there, but the deputy principal is there. And I spoke to her, and this lovely lady that was sitting next to her, which turned out to be an HOD. Guess what? I was so irritated when she kept interfering. I'm like, oh my God, why is she interfering? And it turned out to be a good thing, because eventually she was like, hey, I think this kid can help us. She said to the deputy principal, I think this kid can help us, because our kids are sitting without a teacher, especially the grade 12s. And I was like, yes, I can. I was like, yeah. It's just, then she was like, don't say maybe, say yes. Just say yes. And I said, yes, I can help. And then she was like, okay, we'll talk to the principal. And then the following day, then we went to more schools, because it was after 1, and we know that schools either end at 2 or at 3. Then we went to more schools. Just after we went to 2 schools, I get a call from the deputy principal that I'd spoken to, and she's like, come back tomorrow. The principal wants to talk to you. Now, mind you, I'm in the Eastern Cape. I do not live in the Eastern Cape at this time. I'm in the Eastern Cape, and we are going to drive back home in KZN. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't leave. You guys have to leave. I have to find out what they're going to say. I cannot go. Then I remember, wait a minute. My surname? Lots of people that I know from here. Then we started looking for my relatives because I needed a place to sleep. And I remember I have an auntie right close by in the next village that we were going to pass very soon. And I said, let's go look for her. Let's go look for her. We'll just go and ask people where she is. We found her house, but she wasn't there. Turns out she was at work. And then we were like, wait a minute. We went to one of the family members at a funeral back in the days. I still remember where it was, and then my mom remembered the way it is. And we went there. And as we are standing by the gate, my dad's brother's wife shows up. And I'm like to my mom, there was no house there before. When we were here, there was no house there. And then we were like, wait a minute, did you not tell me that they actually had acquired that land? Oh, they've built a house and staying there. And then they were standing at the gate as well, just like getting into their yard. And it was like, oh my God, they got me a solution. I ended up staying, they ended up offering me a place to stay. Like, oh my God. I was able to sleep that night, wake up the following day, go to the school. My cousin accompanied me, and they were like, okay, we're gonna hire you, but we can't promise for how long. You know, it was like, you know how it goes with SGB posts and stuff. So because we are expecting the teacher to be here, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't care, hire me for 1 month, hire me for half a month, as long as I get to do something. You know, this is the only yes I had gotten. I ended up earning there 4,000 Rand. Like, I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to money now, because I wanted to make sense. When I say to people I'm broke, they're like, you're working. Come on. It's either you're wasting your money or whatever. So I went from the 3,500 that I was earning. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to earn 500 more. I was like excited, but I was excited. Now, mind you, I don't have a child or anybody that I'm actually literally directly responsible for. This was okay for me. And yeah, that's how I ended up having the SGB post that I have right now, right? So yeah, that's just about the gist of it, next up, I'll share how I learned how to save and end up with 38,000 Rand in the bank. See you next time. Bye.